3 o'clock, we'll call this commission meeting to order. Everybody please stand, pledge to the flag. Dave Gogo, will you lead us, please? Did Dave?
Dave, go.
I saw Dave slip in here. Dave, please slip in here, and lead us, please.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. We've got minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
We have a motion. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Claims.
Make a motion we approve the claims.
We have a motion. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we'll get right off to our health insurance for our bids.
All right, I'll open the bids that were received, announce who the bidders are. And then we can. First bid is from Kincaid Insurance Group. Their bid is received timely. This appears to be a continuation of the Kincaid Insurance Group's response. And this packet also from Kincaid Insurance Group. Next packet is from Shepherd Insurance. I might do that instead of this. Three copies received from Shepherd Insurance Group. And the last one from SIHO Insurance Services. Three copies. That appears to be the three responses to the request for proposals.
All right, I'll make a motion that we take these under advisement for review, and she's got a full house, so part of that, we're gonna create a shared link to get this posted somewhere, so if that shared link works, all department heads, you'll get a copy of these two, or three proposals for review. So you can start looking at it, and then we'll work with our tech guy to see if we can get it put online. And we do have a special meeting called the 24th, where this will be added to the agenda again. So my motion is that we take this under advisement for review, and we revisit the 24th.
All right, we have a motion. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right,
Question,
thank you very much.
question,
Yes, sir.
how soon can the department heads expect copies of those?
Well, I've got it in a shared link, but we're gonna make sure that it works before I send it out. I don't wanna send you a shared link and then nobody has access to it. So,
You don't mean we've already got the sealed bids on the shared link?
yeah, they came in through, they were due at 2 p.m. today.
Okay.
Yeah, they came at 2 p.m. and part of the RFP is a electronic copy. So, part of the reason we want an electronic copy so we wouldn't have to run 1 million of those off. So, yeah, the 3 o'clock, it was actually due at 2, but everybody that submitted by 2 is included in this.
All right. Next up, Health Department.
Yeah, we submitted our May monthly reports, and I don't know if you have a question on any of those numbers or anything.
No, I wrote down a question, but you ended up answering it in your meeting minutes. Was pool fees, they match everything the other counties have, and
Yeah.
basically we're trying to mitigate the expense because the funding is going down and
Right.
we're having to do more.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. The health board meeting on the 11th, it was discussed that our fees needed an increase, that's due to the funding cuts and to be more in line with what neighboring counties are charging for, their fees. And, on your letter there, I included what we presently charge. This would be mostly for our food permits, septic permits, the addition of pool inspection permits, which is new. And then I would like to go ahead, because in doing research, I could not find any documentation on this item to Melissa, and then we found an ordinance, which was in 1979.
Good year.
So it's been a while since it's been updated, so I would like to, in asking about these fees to be increased, also ask that we could go ahead and update the fee ordinance for the health department.
And you've got this cleared from your board.
Yes.
This has all been
Yes, I
cleared
do.
from your board. So basically what we'll do is we'll get this to Josh, and then he can get us an update on our ordinance. And he
Do we-
should be
do we
getting
need
that
to-
by the next meeting.
Yeah, do we need to approve,
Well-
the fees prior to that, or can we approve the fees prior to that? Prior to the
With the
change in the
ordinance.
ordinance?
I think you should do it with the changing of the ordinance. Does that cause any problems with payment of anything if it's
Is that
at the
a-
next one? Okay, then I'd do it together with the ordinance.
Okay, so, I'll make a motion that we set the fees, effective once we make the change in the ordinance, when Josh submits a
All right,
copy.
we have a motion on the table. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
I do have a question on the ordinance. The tattoo establishments, eyelash, and like massage parlors, if by chance we would have one open up within the county, Tammy would be responsible for following state IC codes and going out and ensuring that they're following what they're supposed to. Is there a way that we could go ahead and word that into the ordinance, even though we don't have an establishment that we're monitoring right now, and then later address the fee that
I'd
would
say
be
yes.
attached to that?
I'd say, we'll get that to Josh and get that taken care of for you.
Okay, all right. And that's all.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you very much. Sheriff's Department.
Don't have anything.
All right. That's good. Highway Department?
The only thing I have, we got 4 quotes, Mark, is that correct? For
Yes.
the generator up at the county highway department to be replaced. I think Mark, I think he has those, I'll let him speak with that.
Received 4 quotes, it was like pulling teeth together, but we finally got 4 quotes available for the county highway department for a full system replacement on the generator. 4 responsive bids, you know, there's, that one on top is the least expensive. Yes, and then it's well within budget that the council appropriated, and whichever one you guys decide to use.
Which one are you comfortable with, Mark?
I'm comfortable with Casey, they've done the Santa Claus Firehouse, and nothing against any others, no, nothing against any others, it's just that, Casey's done it before, and they're, around 6,000 less than what others were, you know.
I'll make a motion that we accept, what is it, what did you
Well,
say?
Somebody else has questions?
Well, there's 2 of them on here, we,
Yes, it would be the top one with the 500 gallon tank.
okay.
Mhm.
You wanna finish that motion?
Casey did.
Okay, so, I'll second the motion to accept Casey's quote A.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Anything else?
That's all that I
You
can
good?
think, Mark. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
You want to take that?
Okay.
Is your, how's the road
Unless you got a copy.
paving getting started going?
Very slow right now.
You have a copy of those
Green.
I'm afraid to put very much oil
Okay.
down, just with all the showers and everything, so we do have Old State, from 62 to 900 north is completed, but other than that, that's the only one we really got to do anything with so far.
All right. I have planning commission on here. I have no idea what that is.
We had a report, it looked like residences was up 500 and, or residence assessed value 510, and the other ones dropped off a little bit, but yeah, we had a report.
All right. RJL Solutions.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here. For the record, Jonathan Blake with RJL Solutions with offices at 1150 Wabash Avenue in Terre Haute. It's a pleasure to be here today to present the Spencer County Economic Development Plan. This document, I've provided paper copies or bound copies to the commissioners. I'll also be submitting an electronic copy that can be placed on the county's website for public review over the next 30 days. I want to just kind of walk through the report. I won't go into extreme detail given the agenda that you have and the number of people that are here, but this plan represents over a year's worth of work that includes data analysis, local expertise, and most importantly, the voices of Spencer County residents. The need for the plan really arises because Spencer County, as we all know, is facing some real headwinds, including population decline, limited housing options, aging infrastructure, and most importantly, the future closure of the AEP Rockport coal-fired plant. But we also have unique advantages down here, including our location in the region, natural assets, our strong tourism base, and then committed community leaders. And this plan really helps us tackle the challenges that we're facing while also setting a course for a new path. The plan was really developed through a robust public engagement. We included 9 focus group sessions that were both virtual and in person with residents, business owners, and stakeholders across the community. We had a community forum back in January, February up at the Spencer County Youth and Community Center. It yielded over 70 participants. And then we conducted a countywide survey, and that yielded 428 responses, which was around 2% of the population, providing some statistically valid and meaningful data for the development of this plan. Some of the recurring concerns that the community identified included the divide between 2 separate school districts, a lack of unified countywide vision, and limited availability of services and industrial jobs, and then poor communication and coordination among all of the entities within the county. Alternatively, some top priorities that were identified by the residents and business owners included development along US 231, expanding the riverfront and port infrastructure, and providing more housing options. As part of our analysis, we conducted some benchmarking, so that about midway through the plan, and we conducted benchmarks with 3 counties in our region, so in the SWIDC region, and we conducted benchmarks with 3 counties that are outside the region. The counties we chose outside the region were similar to Spencer County, either in terms of tourism, major industries, population, annual budget for the county, etc. So the regional counties that we compared Spencer County to included Perry, Harrison, and Orange counties, and then the non-regional were Steuben, Park, and Brown counties. And again, these were chosen based on population, annual budget, geographic characteristics, and tourism. The meat of the plan itself really begins on page 36. So once you get through all of the data analytics and the benchmarking, page 36 is really where we start the planning effort. So that includes a mission and vision and strategic framework, really tied to the county's readiness to chart a new path, given the upcoming closure of the Rockport plant, and then address the current needs of the county. You'll see in the plan that there are 3 overarching goals. 1, to halt the population decline by creating reasons to live, stay, and invest in Spencer County. 2, to raise the median household income to meet or exceed the state average. And then 3, to proactively prepare for the closure of the AEP Rockport plant, including working with AEP for whatever their transition looks like. So those are the 3 overarching goals that are outlined in the plan. To achieve those goals, we set forth 5 strategic focus areas. including intergovernmental collaboration modernization. So really strengthening leadership capacity, transparency and alignment of policies across the county. Infrastructure, investing in critical infrastructure like water, sewer, storm, making sure that roads and infrastructure are site ready so that it can support business growth and community development. Having a focused business recruitment and attraction policy as well, so proactively going after businesses that are seeking to come either to the region or to Indiana. Those could be the projects that are coming down from the state through IEDC or another state agency. Could be projects just like Superior Ag, getting ready to expand their front in Spencer County. So, really creating these site-ready opportunities for business to come here and thrive in Spencer County. It also includes the business retention and expansion. So not only attracting new business, but also supporting the businesses that are here. That could be everything from supporting mom and pop shops, small business Saturdays, to broader economic strategies, helping companies like Superior Ag and others expand their footprint, create new opportunities, create jobs, and really get a strong foothold in the county. And then the fifth focus area is community growth and development. So that's really enhancing quality of life, quality of place. What we heard quite a bit was that residents really want to see an active riverfront. They want to see expansion of port infrastructure. They want to see investments in parks and recreation. All of those things lead to a better quality of life. We also heard quite a bit about the lack of healthcare options that are in Spencer County. And that's not uncommon for rural communities. But really, that focus area helps draw attention to the need for healthcare services in Spencer County, so that when we're going out and looking for opportunities, or if we hear of healthcare networks that are looking to expand their footprint, we can say, hey, come to Spencer County, there is a need, we have a gap that you could fill. The plan itself is not the end of the process. This is actually really just the beginning. This is the time where we start to put this plan into action and start the implementation. It's our recommendation that the commissioners take this under advisement for a 30-day period. Like I said, I will be providing an electronic copy that can go on the website. We would welcome feedback from the public and the commissioners. And then we'll look to incorporate any changes that you would like to see made, and then actually adopt this at a future date. At the end of that period, we would recommend that this become a formal policy of the commissioners, and that this be implemented across the county. This implementation, the strategic regional alignment with Indiana First and SWIDC, and Indiana 15 really will position the county to pursue future funding, attract business, and help retain residents in the area. You will notice in the plan, as you go through the strategies and actions, there are multiple strategies, and then there are action items within each strategy. One of the things that we will be creating is a playbook of sorts, so taking each one of the focus areas, identifying what that core objective is that's in the plan, and then attaching all of the strategies and actions underneath that, so that commissioners or public or department heads can use that as a checklist, or prioritizing future investments that, whether it's the county or the local municipalities. So we'll be putting that together. It'll be a separate document, 3 or 4 pages, that'll have all of that summarized, so that somebody doesn't have to dig through the actual report. But with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are you presenting this to the council tonight?
I am presenting to the council.
So take it under advisement for 30 days.
Second meeting in July.
It's the 15th. Yeah, that's 4 weeks. I'll make a motion that we take this under advisement as an opportunity to receive feedback from all stakeholders, and we revisit July 15th.
All right, got a motion on the table. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you very much, sir.
Matt, I will send the link to you.
Okay.
Okay, next up, we have a road closure from
Mariah Hill.
Mariah Hill Foundation requesting permission to close all parts of Road 675 East from 1910 North to 1930 North at 5 p.m. Friday, August 8th till 6 p.m. Sunday, August the 10th for their annual picnic. And again, they'll be holding their vintage baseball game. They would like the same section closed. The dates for that event will be 5 p.m. Friday, Saturday, September the 22nd, until 12 p.m. Sunday, September 28th. I will ask a motion to accept that closing.
I'll make a motion that we accept the closures.
We have a motion, we have a second. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right. Legal report.
Nothing new since last month's legal report from Mr. Claiborne.
Any old business? Back? Good. New business? I've got ride share.
My solution?
Yes.
Okay.
Want to present it to us?
I know this is not really your typical budget time, but I have a bunch of meetings coming up, so I thought I could come today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, appreciate it. But basically, this is just to let you know that we're still doing a lot of things going on here in Spencer County. We just need your support. For the grants to keep going through for the 10 counties that we're in. It enables people from Perry County, Du Bois County, Ward County to come in and do anything they need to do here, as well as your residents getting to work. There's people that work at Holiday World. And then we take people, there's the Abbey and different things like that that go back and forth in this area. So another thing I wanted to point out, I listed in the thing, is we've been getting a lot of requests lately for when people, they're looking for like moving into different counties to do housing projects. They see that ask us if we do public transportation for the county because it gives them extra points to apply for those projects. So I think that looking ahead, you don't know what, just the idea that you have public transportation funded through the state and FTA brings to the table for some things that you don't really realize. Besides the impact that it has on a lot of people that don't have any vehicle at all and need to get around. So I just would like to ask you to keep us in your budget for next year. And if you have any questions. let me know.
I'm new, so
You're new, okay.
have you received appropriation in the past?
Yeah,
Every single year?
many years.
Okay.
Ride Solutions does a very good job.
Yes, we have drivers that live here in this county. We dispatch them from their home every single day. People can go anywhere they want to go, as far as, it's just like a taxi cab, but it's cheap, because we're subsidized through NDOT and different.
All right.
So, for people that don't know about it, there's just a lot of things that people find out through doctor's offices. A lot of times people can't get home from the doctor's office, or they can't get to somewhere where they need to go. So we dispatch them we have 5 dispatchers on duty all the time. And people call in and schedule rides ahead of time. If people cancel, then we have openings, then we can fill in those gaps during the day if someone calls in.
Gotcha.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Superior Ag.
Did you get some packets? I think we sent those electronically, your information there. So We come before you kind of north of 231. We looked for property that we could build a fertilizer distribution facility on. Looked all up and down the Ohio River. Today, all the fertilizer that comes in is coming on the Owensboro side, so either Owensboro or Henderson on the Kentucky side of the river. But we're an Indiana, southern Indiana-based co-op with roots back to 1928. The original Spencer County Farm Bureau that was put together. That's where we come from. We operate locations throughout southern Indiana. In 2007, some of the local co-ops that originally were formed were put together to form Superior Ag. But we currently serve about 2,500 growers, and we're looking to modernize and improve the distribution of crop inputs so we can continue to support agriculture here in this area. Right now in Spencer County, we employ about 70 full-time employees and about 35 part-time employees. The annual wages of those employees is close to $5 million. I think it was $4.9 million in the past year. The new facility that we're proposing would be a 32,000-ton dry fertilizer storage and blending facility. Again, modern, state-of-the-art, being able to bring in barges on the Ohio River, unload those barges. At 600 tons an hour is what the equipment would be rated at, so you could unload a barge in about 3 hours. The outbound blending equipment will be rated to ship product out about 300 tons an hour, so load a 25-ton truck in about 5 minutes. So it'll be a vast improvement from what we're doing currently. Currently, a lot of our product comes into Henderson, and then it gets transported by a truck into some domes there by Henderson, and then from there it gets transported again by truck up to our fertilizer plants throughout the geography here. Then it gets blended, then it goes out to the farms.
So you're gonna blend it?
This will be a storage and blending, and we'll be able to store straight product and do some wholesale to other surrounding co-ops and stuff. It'll be blended product that'll go right to the field, and some farmers that want to come in and pick up will be able to load right there, and they can go back to their farm with product. So we'll kind of be able to do all of the above. We purchased the membership interest in Summit Terminal LLC, so we're the wholly owned subsidiary now of the Summit Terminal there. We did that back in December, and we're working now with the final stages of the permitting. Got the DNR permit to build in the floodplain here just about, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so still working on a couple of other permits, but are expecting to break ground and start turning dirt at the end of July. So we'll probably have a groundbreaking there probably in the middle of July, kind of announcing that we're into the building stage of it. Time frame for the investment is as we get doing the building in the end of July. A lot of the dirt work and concrete work will be done between now and November. Then a lot of the interior part of the structure and the wood and the bins and stuff will be constructed throughout the winter, and we're expecting to have the project completed probably March of 2026. So that's kind of how we're stacking up right now. The overall investment in the property is basically, we got SB1s that we're going to present to the council and talk about tax abatement. That's part of the purpose of informing you all about what we're looking at, what we're asking for. But basically, it'll be $15 million of investment in real property assets between the land and the buildings, and about $7 million in personal property, mainly the equipment, blending equipment. So that's the unloading equipment from the barge to the storage facility, and then loading the bins within the storage facility, and then all the blending equipment and load out for the trucks that can load out. So it'll be able to receive product by barge and by truck, and then everything shipping out of it will be by truck.
That sounds really good. How many people do you think will work at this?
So it'll be probably about 15 people total. We're looking at, some will transfer from some of our other facilities around the area, but we're looking at probably between 6 and 10 new employees. A couple would be on the sales side. A lot of them will be on the distribution, on the trucking, and getting product out to the farmers and that. So probably looking at around 10 new people, and then 4 or 5 that would transfer.
What's the
transfer.
makeup of that between hourly and salary?
We'd be looking, the salespeople would be salary, the rest would, and a manager would be salary, the rest of them would be hourly. All would be full-time, those positions. We'd probably have some seasonal help, which most of our locations do, in the peak season, in the spring and stuff, but the 10 that I'm talking about additional would probably be full-time with benefits for the area.
All right.
There's more details here, but if you got any questions, it's kind of for your information, and then we'll,
Thank you for bringing it to our end of the woods.
yeah,
We appreciate that.
We're
You've been here
excited.
for an awful long time.
we also, I didn't mention it, but in 2017, we made a $24 million investment at the Dale Feed Mill right there at 231 and 64, and so we got support and help from the county as we did that. I think we're 8 years into that, but
And that's going real well.
that's been a good investment for us. So yeah, we're excited to turn around and do something similar on the fertilizer side for the farmers.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. EMA. Mark,
Do you have anything else?
Stephanie?
I'll go first because
Yeah,
mine's
but she was
shorter.
pretty clear.
I'm just wanting approval to move forward with getting rid of the old coastal boat. So we've got the new boat in, we're still working on warm-up hours on the new engine for that, so we're doing some training on that. But want to get rid of the old boat. I am asking a reserve at least of $1,200 on that. And then I'm also going to ask the council if that money can come back to EMA so I can get some more supplies for water rescue.
All right, you want to make a motion on that? I'll make a motion that we honor that, what Stephanie's wishes there for her EMA for the boat.
With the $1,200 reserve, I'll second.
You second that?
Yeah.
All right.
Right? Is that, hold on, what's the motion? The motion is to sell the
Read off
boat.
what you just said.
Sell the boat,
That's
12
what-
sell the boat, $1,200 reserve.
$1,200 reserve, and that money comes back to EMA so we can get some more.
There you go,
supplies.
there's your motion.
There you go.
Second.
Second.
There we go.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, Stephanie. You want to give a report on the new boat?
We've taken it out, a few of us, several times now. Still learning some little quirks on it, getting used to it, but it's going really well. It's nice to have something that's operational, very, very operational for our responders. So-
In this end of the world, we need that. Thank you. Mark?
Okay. Mark Lautner, name for the record. Here today representing the commissioners on far as communications. Last 3 weeks have really put a lot of thought and a lot of work into a situation that we're facing. I've mentioned this a couple of years ago, we're going to be looking at replacing the county's VHF fire system. We're at that point right now. We had a failure at one of the repeater sites. The vendor was able to get us a used part to get it going. There are no more parts to manufacture for this deal. So I did reach out to we were going to Commissioner Seiler and some council members, send an email to everybody yesterday, a brief synopsis of what's going on. We met with the fire chiefs one evening, and I brought it up to them, and everybody that was there was in agreement that they need the VHF system. Yes, it's going to be, we use a mix of 800 and stuff. We did test some 800 stuff. It didn't work to our satisfaction. There were some pages that were missed, but they were still in tune with others. Everybody got their calls answered. So what I proposed, I reached out to a few different vendors and seen what something like this might cost, for a single channel simulcast, which now is multicast, simulcast system, analog. I've had one person verbally, a vendor say maybe around over 100,000. I've had one at 150. So I'm kind of looking around, to put this system in. And we had also a radio committee meeting, and we went in depth on that to put out a performance spec to meet the fire chiefs, to saturate Spencer County with these tones and stuff to where these people can get out as much as they can on handheld and keep your 95% rate or better on mobile activity for back to dispatch. What we've also looked at, we want public safety grade equipment. Some of these we can get, it's a 2-site, it'd be St. Meinrad and Christie. we could, if they think they can saturate that, we can either go the backhaul by fiber, which we have fiber everywhere we're at, or microwave. One vendor says we can, another says we can't. So we had an incident the other day where a fiber line was broken, and within an hour it was fixed. That was during the day. That was my only concern about that. But you got icing on microwave system. So I'm asking for your permission to explain to you what we're looking at and to get some monies appropriated, because we're at end of life on this system. We've got the goodies out of it. You know, I said it's around 13 years old. It may be closer to 15. So and that's our main point, to page out all 9 fire departments, EMS, EMA, coroner, and our weather sirens too goes off on that. So.
Well, I mean, what we need here is something for our safety.
Yes.
So I guess my question to you, Mark, would be, do you want to start taking bids on this, or how do you want to approach this?
I think so. I do, with your all's permission.
I will make that motion for you to
Yes.
go ahead and start getting bids to replace this. Do we
Okay.
have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And that's why I can't make this decision on my own, but let me tell you, there's a lot of good people out here that sit on this radio committee that give good input, and we had great input. We met for an hour, hour and a half, and things, and I'm going to the council tonight and speak to them about this too, so.
The only, I think the only word I understood was microwave. I don't know what,
It's just for for all the
VHF,
sites. Yeah, for all the sites to talk out of each side at the same time, perfectly within milliseconds.
okay. And I've been to a couple of fire meetings. I'm assuming all that still works with that cool app that we have?
I understand, yes, it won't affect that at all, but yes, that is a backup, that's what saves us, and it comes in very handy, for not only for each department, but here's another thing I want to put into this bid, on like subsection A or whatever, is a, section in there to put a health monitoring radio system. It's where a monitoring system could be installed to where a TV screen would be in dispatch and one in EMA, and where if there's something going on, low power at the Christie site, it would send an email to the vendor as well as to me and dispatch. But what's good about that, main thing, is ISO rating. It will help lower the ISO ratings for all the residents in Spencer County through these fire departments. Some of them are very close to getting their ISO rating lowered, which is good. A lower rating is good for fire departments. So I think I want to put that in there too, because it would be a benefit and take advantage of some of this technology. I'm not asking for a Cadillac system. I'm asking for something that does public safety
we want to
great.
make sure that it's going to be
Right.
top notch for what we need here in Spencer County, because I mean, this is very, very important that we get
Yes.
this right. And thank you for stepping up,
I've had
taking
a-
the lead on this.
I've
I
had a lot of
appreciate it.
projects this summer, I'm glad to do it in last year too. If nobody else had any questions on the radios, I've got one thing I can add too, while I've got the pulpit here a little bit. Regional Fire Training Center, an update on that. Let's see, the container will be delivered this Thursday. I know it's a holiday, but we'll take care of that. Thanks to the Highway Department for getting some rock, leveling that out for the cranes to get in there. The week of June 23rd through the 29th is when Lone Star Tactical Buildings will be in here installing this Regional Fire Training Center. They'll be constructing that. We've got some other things that we need to have we got a budget for it. We're still under budget on that. Fencing is going to be one of the last things. We're still waiting on CenterPoint's permission to work with Don Everard and Finch Newton Water to get water in there. So we're having our first class scheduled in Cadence, July 10th through the 13th. So Christie and some others will help take care of shoveling water without the water line. The cistern has been ordered. The 5,500 gallon cistern has been ordered. It's going to take about 3 weeks to get that in. So this is an update on that.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Appreciate it,
Here
Mark.
ends the epistle. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, we've got contracts here. Melissa?
Just one contract. I need to see if I can get approval from Maximus. That is my cost allocation plan. The cost is going up $100. It's over $3,500 to $3,600. Just looking for approval for the year.
And what is that for?
My cost allocation plan.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything else on that? If not, I don't have anything else on new business. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We have a motion, and I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Nobody opposed? We're done. Thank y'all.